With profound, humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy, blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 3 of 4.
Etc.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds. Heaven Godspeed.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
So one of the goals that we have as Walpida was to have an ethical product, to challenge the fast food industry. We don't call ourselves fast food, we call ourselves good food served fast.
Please stay with us to enjoy this illuminating congress.
All animals are friends, and we don't eat friends. Sarah Seki, vegan.
Today's program will be presented in English with subtitles in Arabic, Aulacese, also known as Vietnamese, Chinese, English, French, German, Hindi, Hungarian, Indonesian, Korean, Mongolian, Persian, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, Thai, and Ukrainian or Uranian. Assalamu alaikum. Noble viewers, this is a traditional Arabic greeting which means peace be upon you. I am Abedin. The courteous Bahrainis wish you happiness as your spirit of compassion and love shines through in all that you do. May Allah bless us always. The Kingdom of Bahrain is a group of islands in the Persian Gulf, located between Qatar and the northeastern coast of Saudi Arabia. Among the country's wonders is the 400-year-old tree of life, which has remained verdant and healthy in a desert area with no obvious source of water. Another natural wonder is found on Hawar Islands, a protected area where the rare Socotra cormorant people arrive each year to start new families. The shallow waters around the islands also provide perfect feeding areas for the gentle dugong, a vegetarian marine mammal person who loves to feast on underwater seagrass. In contrast to the natural environment, Bahrain's capital city Manama is modern and cosmopolitan with captivating skyscrapers. One feature that stands out is the Bahrain World Trade Center 1, which integrates large-scale wind turbines into its sustainable design for energy efficiency. The people of Bahrain honor traditional values such as love and respect for family. Care is guaranteed in the nation's constitution for less fortunate citizens, with special programs in place for the elderly. Bahrain is also known for its comprehensive and free public education system that offers classes to students from elementary grades through university level. In December 2010, the first ever Middle East Vegetarian Congress was held at the Dubai International Exhibition Center with the public invited to engage in an interactive exploration of the plant-based lifestyle. Organized by the Middle East Veg Group or MEVEG, supported by the Middle East Natural and Organic Product Expo 2010, and endorsed by the Dubai Health Authority of the United Arab Emirates, the event provided 2 days of seminars, workshops, and video telecasts with experts from around the world, along with rejuvenating veg cuisine. In addition, Supreme Master Ching Hai Vegan was specially invited to speak via live video link on being a vegan and environmentally sustainable food choice, followed by a question and answer session with attendees and the launch of the Arabic edition of the international best-selling book The Birds in My Life, which was already sold out pre-launch. The Birds in My Life was printed by United Printing and Publishing, a subsidiary of Abu Dhabi Media Company or ADMC, owned by the government of Abu Dhabi. We now invite you to join us for part 11 of the conference titled The First Middle East Vegetarian or MEVEG Congress, held in the city of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates on December 6, 2010, with Muhammad Parham Al-Wadi, co-owner of Wild Pita, whose vegetarian shawarma options offers a unique take on making nutritious, good food served fast.
They've received tremendous attention for their unconventional use of social media site to market their bread. And, they've given a fresh perspective to shawarma. I mean, the favorite thing whenever you think of Arab food, the first thing that comes to mind is shawarma. So they have added a new touch, and today something special will also be launched with the school kids coming over here. So it's not uncommon to see their followers influencing decisions related to operations, design, menu listing. They call it brand democracy. So we like the fresh blood which has come up and started such innovative restaurants over here. So Wild Pita aims to become the world's first Emirati restaurant brand to be exported across the world. So we wish it good luck.
Thank you very much. Every time I hold a mic, I feel like I'm in karaoke. I want to ask a few questions. How many people sitting here have been living in the Middle East for a few years now? Raise your hands. Terrific. How many vegetarians do we have here? Raise your hands. Excellent. So you vegetarians, how many of you have had shawarmas? So there's one vegetarian who's had a shawarma. So how is that even possible, right? And we all know that shawarma equates with meat. So you have two choices, you have meat and you have chicken shawarma. So obviously vegetarians cannot eat that. And if you do, it's a horrible sandwich. It has 2-3 types of vegetables in it, if you're lucky. Usually has one, and a little bit of sauce in there. So about 10 years ago, my brother and I came up with an idea. We looked at the shawarma, this amazing sandwich, and depending from where you're from, whether you're Turkish or you're Greek, it could be either or. That shawarma, that sandwich has been around for centuries. So we looked at the shawarma and we said, look around the world, look at the food industry, look at the hamburger, look at the hot dog, look at the pizza. It's evolved so much and it's become so popular. So when I say pizza, which fast food companies comes to mind? Pizza Hut, or I can name a few others. When I say the hamburger, which companies come to mind? McDonald's, Burger King, and so forth. And there's other examples of chicken and whatnot. So why hadn't the shawarma evolved? Why had it stayed the way it was? We saw a few barriers. One, and the biggest one, is definitely if you're vegetarian, you cannot have a shawarma, obviously. So that was one. The other one was, it was a bit limited. Like I said, you could either have it with sesame seed paste sauce, or you can have it with a garlic mayonnaise. And obviously, garlic mayonnaise has eggs in it, again, feeding into the vegetarian factor. So we came up with an idea. How can we evolve the shawarma? How can we make it relevant to an international palate? How can we make it relevant to vegetarians? So 10 years ago we had this idea, we worked on this business plan, and we called it Wild Pita. Pita meaning the bread that we use. It's the flat bread. We actually just called it pita with two E's, P-E-E-T-A. And the reason for that was, it's actually supposed to be spelled P-I-T-A. And we found people pronouncing it pita or pita. And some people said pita. So we said, you know what, let's replace that I with two E's and call it pita. And then a family member heard about our idea and said, wow, that's a really wild idea that you guys have. So Wild Pita was born, a little bit of trivia. So it took us 10 years to bring this concept to life. Why did it take 10 years? We didn't have the funding to start this business, neither did our families. So we looked around, we looked at financial institutions, at banks and so forth. And we went to them and we said, hello bank, we have this crazy idea. We're two Emirati guys and want to open up a shawarma place, but we're going to have vegetarian shawarmas. So 10 years, nobody entertained us. We couldn't get any money to start our business. However, if you wanted to buy property in the UAE, there was plenty of money for that. So what's so special about Wild Pita, this product that we have? The cool thing about Wild Pita is we have the world's first vegetarian shawarma. Now, I like vegetarian food. And you'll probably find me, if I'm not eating at Wild Pita, you'll find me in Karama somewhere. You know, and that's probably my favorite place in Dubai. Amazing restaurants over there. And you'll probably find me in an Indian vegetarian restaurant. And when I walk in, looking the way I do with my brother, and we sit down and we ask for the menu, the first thing the waiter says usually is, excuse me sir, we don't have any meat. And I say, that's great. So, what we did with the shawarma was, you know, why not have a vegetarian shawarma? And you know what, let's not just make it boring. Let's not put 2 or 3 vegetables in there and call it vegetarian. So what we do is we add char-grilled vegetables in there, so char-grilled potatoes, zucchini, and carrots. And then you get to choose from about 10 to 15 vegetables to put inside. Subway style, you know, when you're standing there and you choose which vegetables to put into your sandwich. Same concept, except we source our vegetables from Middle Eastern farms. So we know which farms these vegetables come from, and they are from the Middle East. The other thing is, if you look at our vegetables versus Subway, I like Subway, but it can get boring flavor-wise, yeah, and even nutrition-wise. They have lettuce, they have tomato, they have onions, if you're lucky, they have cucumbers. What you'll find at Wild Pita is we have shredded red cabbage, we have shredded carrots, we have fresh mint leaves, we have fresh parsley, we have coriander, we have basil. So you get to choose from all of that. Now, I said that we wanted to make the shawarma applicable to an international palate. How did we do that? So for the first time, you have a choice of more than just 2 flavors of shawarma. So you can have your vegan shawarma with, yes, the tahiniya, the sesame seed paste shawarma, but you can have a Mexican shawarma. So that's with a black bean sauce that we create. You can have it with an Italian red, it's a pizza sauce that we've created. Or an Italian white, it's a cream and mushroom sauce that we created. You can have the world's first Khaliji shawarma. So it's a sauce that we created that has the Khaliji spices in there. You can have the Indian makhni flavor, and so on and so on. So it's been a year now since we've opened, and to be honest, we didn't expect that we'd be doing so well and people would appreciate our food, and we certainly didn't expect to be speaking at a vegetarian conference, to be honest. So it's really great to be here. What I also wanted to talk about today was growing up in terms of finding good food to eat is very difficult. And what we started to see, my brother and I, was, if we wanted something to eat quickly, conveniently, and cheap, it was the usual suspects. It was McDonald's, it was so-and-so. And again, they were almost forcing meat onto you. So one of the goals that we have as Walpida was to have an ethical product, to challenge the fast food industry. And in fact, when we talk about our business, Walpida, we don't call ourselves fast food. We call ourselves good food served fast. And there's a big difference, because the fast food, that word just has such a negative connotation to it. And we all know, all you have to do is go on Google and Google anything related to fast food, and it'll tell you in your face how bad it is for you. But they make it so easy, they make it so simple, so cheap, that you go for that. And the reason why we attend these sort of talks and speak to people is it has to happen on a grassroots level. Because the corporations, the fast food corporations, are very powerful, and they're blasting our children with information about how great their products are. And I'll tell you what, I see the ads on the streets that McDonald's has about how high the quality of their food is. If you go into a McDonald's outlet and they'll invite you, you could go to a McDonald's restaurant today and say, I'd like to go into the kitchen. They'll say, okay, maybe not now, but I'll book you and you can go for a tour. Truth, you can. But it's nutrition where the issue is, if you look at that food. So what we decided was, we're gonna bake our own bread. So we know exactly what goes into our bread. And you can, of course, have the traditional, the white bread, the white pita bread, which we had to start off with because of its popularity. We've just launched the brown pita bread. So you can have a brown pita bread, brown shawarma. And we're gonna launch other types of bread as well, gluten-free and so forth and so forth. The vegetables that we use are from the region, from Middle Eastern farms, so it's reinvesting in our community. And when I walk into a supermarket and I see that 2% to 5% of the shelf space in the vegetables section is dedicated to local produce, just 5%, and 95% is imported, doesn't it make you think? So how are local farms supposed to sustain themselves? When we went to the vegetable market and we spoke to wholesalers and we said, we only want to buy regional products from you, they just looked at us with a blank face, like, why? It's cheaper to get ginger and garlic from China. Why would you want to get it from the Middle East? It's more expensive. But somebody has to do it. We have to do it. We have to start somewhere. That's my talk for today. And I don't know how much time I have, but if there's any questions, I'd love to answer them.
It's a good idea to start vegetarian businesses so that we can reach more people. But is your business idea just a business idea, or there are some values behind those? What are those values?
I come from 12 years of multinational experience, so I worked with cosmetic companies, medical equipment. My brother is ex-Pepsi and he is ex-Master Foods, which is Galaxy Chocolates and whatnot. So we come from that corporate way of thinking, but we certainly were not brainwashed by it. And when you look at the values of a corporation, there's two that always stand out, which is shareholder value and profit. And that never settled well with us. Because if those are the only two things that drive your business, then it's not sustainable. Then it could only lead to destruction. Yeah? Growing your sales on paper looks great and it's terrific in your pocket, but it means growing more food or producing more and more and more and more of things that you don't necessarily need, of food that you cannot necessarily consume. So we reevaluated our values and we said, you know what, it's not going to be just shareholder driven, it's not going to be just profit driven. So our values, we call it the 4 pillars of Wild Pita, which is assimilate with the community, food with integrity and ethics. We have shareholder value as well, and giving this living earth the highest level of respect. So our 4 pillars, it's not a CSR program, it's who we are. It drives everything that we do.
People were caught by surprise when you started to make war. But why are they surprised? What else can you do? The type of man that you are, low life, low intelligence, zero morals, and zero noble goals in life.
Distinguished viewers, we appreciate your presence today for the first Middle East Vegetarian or MEVEG Congress on Words of Wisdom. Please join us tomorrow for part 12 of this inspiring conference. Coming up next is Mount Shasta, Sacred Mountain Bathed in Mystery, part 1 of 2, right after noteworthy news. May the heavenly light and melodies be your daily inspiration.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds. Hail, not rich.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/WOW.
저희 방송은 다양한 언어를 제공합니다. 다음을 참고하세요. suprememastertv.com/schedule 그리고 suprememastertv.com/WOW